Well, hi there. My name is Brent Smith, and I'm the Common Constitutionalist. And welcome once again to the Common Constitutionalist video podcast. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're back, better than ever, baby, welcome back. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do the alert thing, do all that stuff that I'm supposed to say multiple times from the friends that also do podcasts. You got to market yourself a little better, bro. Oh well. So, today I'm going to be talking about one major topic, one really minor topic. It's not minor, but I'm just going to touch on it just because it pissed me off, and so there you go. First off, Major League Baseball player refuses to kneel. Lots of people have heard about that one, but I'll give you my take on it. And a bit about Saint Fauci. So, that's what I'll be discussing today on the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. I'll be right back. Alright, first thing I want to say about this is from Yahoo News. Maybe Yahoo Sports /News, I don't know, whatever, but it's from Yahoo. Yahoo is a leftist site, we all know that, okay? They're all left all the time. So I got to hand her to the reporter, or the person who wrote this article, or whatever, Cassandra Negley, who is more than likely, if she works for Yahoo, she's a leftist, but she did some solid reporting on this, and more reporting than she did commentating or editorializing from a leftist bent. So good on you, Cassandra. And if I had any clout on YouTube or whatever in the conservative world, I would have probably gotten you fired. If I was somebody like Rush or Glenn Beck or Sean Hannity or Tucker Carlson congratulating, you'd be fired. You'd be fired within the 5 minutes after. Anyway, let's do this. She writes, Major League Baseball was the star of the sports world on Thursday night as the league became the latest professional sports to get underway. That's not why they became the star, and everybody knows that, because sports is boring as crap. And until they come up with full contact like rugby baseball, I ain't gonna watch because it's slow and it's boring and it's tedious and there's nothing good about it. And it's just a yawner. Other than that, I love baseball. Players from the New York Yankees and Washington Nationals, that's the Fauci pitch, knelt along the foul lines, holding a black ribbon during a moment of silence, and then stood for the national anthem. They all stood? Well, I guess that's something. It was a demonstration for racial unity that played out similarly in the second game, which is what I'm going to be speaking of, not the game, it's our... In the second game of the night between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. The only player, this is the whole point of this article, the only player who didn't kneel during either pregame ceremonies was Giants reliever Sam Coonrod. Now, we're talking about black lives, the black race, and you've got a white guy by the name of Coonrod. Think about that. Okay? You got it? Okay. Giants Coonrod said he only kneels before God. Funny, that's who I kneel to too, and that's it. I will kneel to no other being, human otherwise. It is supposed to be, I guess, controversial. I guess this is supposed to be something controversial, that one guy decided to stand up for his Christian belief in God and not kneel for some movement, because a guy actually has true faith and belief in God. And I've said this very thing on a number of occasions, I've written this very thing on a number of occasions, that the only person or thing or being or however you want to classify it that I will kneel before is God also. No human, no cause, whether it's legitimate or a bogus cause like Black Lives Matter is a bogus cause. None of those rate kneeling. No king, no ruler, no nothing, okay? Period. So as an aside, I found this really fascinating. When I'm writing, sometimes I'll be searching for a word, a correct word or something like that, and to use in a sentence or a thought or whatever. And I'm pretty sure it fits, but to be certain, I'll go on the interweb and I'll look it up just to make sure that I'm using it in the right context, the way it's supposed, the way my thinking is the way it's supposed to be, and my use is the way it's actually supposed to be. And then sometimes I'll look it up and it actually doesn't quite fit the way I think it should fit and whatever, okay? So I look up genuflect on Google. Now everyone knows Google. Google is just flat leftist evil. They just are, okay? They just are. So I was astounded to see what I saw in this. When you look up a dictionary definition on pretty much any site, they'll give you the several definitions, the iterations of the definition of and they'll give you the history or the Greek or the Latin or whatever language it came from. And then they'll give you a couple of examples of where it's used in a sentence. Listen to this. Politicians had to genuflect, and the word was genuflect, by the way, which is, synonymous for kneeling, so to speak. Politicians had to genuflect to the far left to advance their careers, quote unquote. I was astounded by this. And not just politicians, it wasn't politicians chose to genuflect. Politicians felt they had to genuflect in order to advance their careers. That's a powerful statement about a really insidiously powerful movement, don't you think? So even they understand at Google, because they're right in the heat of this thing, they're leading the charge, the power of the radical left and the power that they've got, and the fear it generates in all the sheep and lemmings of our society, whether they be in politics, whether they be owners of major corporations. It doesn't make any difference who they are. They all have to genuflect to the Black Lives Matter movement, or else. Okay, so the or else is the Marxist, communist, leftist, statist, socialist thing. That's the or else part. Okay, so the teams held a long black ribbon while keeping socially distant, and that's the Fauci thing, and spreading out from foul pole to foul pole. So yeah, I'll get into the Fauci thing later. So what's with the racist black ribbon? Okay, why not a rainbow ribbon? All right, when you think about it, why not a rainbow ribbon? Because isn't this for people of color, all peoples of color, not just the black peoples? Okay, why not the rainbow flag? Not the old rainbow flag where it just had the colors without the white, obviously, but they added the brown and the black. Okay, why not that flag? That would be more endemic of the movement, wouldn't it? But then there's a new flag where you have the colors of the rainbow horizontally, and then triangularly on the left or the right hand side, I guess, there's a triangle of brown and black, and then there's, I think, a pink one, and then on the very side there's a small corner of whitey whiteness. Well, that is crashed and burned because of, why do you think? Whitey whiteness. There you go. But I digress. Back to the article. After a few moments of silence while they knelt, speak much? Let's start that over again. After a moment of silence while they knelt, a video featuring narration by Morgan Freeman played. I love Morgan Freeman as an actor. I assume that he's a leftist, but I really don't know his politics, and I don't even care to know, because I don't want somebody like Robert De Niro, since he's come out as being a virulent, violent, nasty, disgusting scumbag leftist that he is. I haven't watched a single movie from De Niro, old or new, and I won't from now on. I can't look at that guy without having impure thoughts about what I'd like to do to him. And ain't shaking his hand, bro. Just saying. Okay? But I assume that Morgan Freeman's a leftist, but I'm sure, almost 100%, that he didn't write what he read. It was written by some Marxist, by some communist, And by that I mean somebody from the Black Lives Matter movement, okay? What he said was basically nothing but hollow, virtue-signaling pablum, talking about achieving equality and unity, and that is an absolute joke, in my opinion, because they don't want to achieve equality nor unity, okay? Bottom line, they want to get rid of whitey white man. And if you listen, really listen to this Black Lives Matter movement, the people that are in charge and the people that are driving this thing, that's exactly what they want to do, is they want to tear Israel down, America down, and get rid of the whitey whites, or subjugate them to a second-class society. So I'll be right back after this and continue with this fun topic.
You're watching the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast.
Okay, welcome back. Once again, my name is Brent Smith. Once again, I'm the Common Constitutionalist. Once again, you're watching me. Hooray. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I'm actually kind of enjoying this one. As frustrating as it is and as serious as this topic is, I'm kind of enjoying this one. So back to the article about Coonrod. Coonrod. Man, what a name. You got to change your name, bro. Of course, it's not going to make any difference, but at any rate. The demonstration will reportedly be at every opening day game this week, says James Wagner of the New York Times, the used-to-be paper of record, and now the paper that you see on the bottom of your parrot cage at home or in the pet shop. Just saying. Coonrod, a second-year reliever, so he's a nobody, all right, did not take part in the ceremony and instead stood behind first base at the edge of the infield dirt, which he belongs in the dirt because he's a dirty guy. He said afterward it was because he was a Christian, or he is a Christian. He was a Christian. He's now converted to Black Lives Matter, the religion of Black Lives Matter, which is whatever, the religion of the state. That he is a Christian and, quote, I can't kneel before anything besides God. And we covered that, and it still is true as the 10 minutes ago when we covered it first time, whatever. National Review wrote, now you got to listen to this, and I'll go back to what I want you to specifically concentrate on. Hello. National Review wrote that, quote, San Francisco Giants pitcher Sam Coonrod refused to kneel in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement ahead of the team's season opener Friday, saying he would feel, quote, like a hypocrite, unquote, because of his Christian faith and his personal beliefs, a quote, unquote. Okay, did you catch that? If you didn't catch that, let me read it again, just the little portion that I want you to catch. All right? San Francisco Giants pitcher Sam Coonrod refused to kneel in solidarity with the Black Lives movement. Okay? You got that? In solidarity? Way to go, National Review. Way to describe it. You're supposed to be a conservative, constitutional, well, I don't know what you're constitutional, but you're supposed to be of the right or conservative. Okay? This is not a conservative standpoint or a viewpoint. You are buying into the premise that the Black Lives Matter movement all wants solidarity and unity throughout all races and all creeds and everything in the United States. That is not what they want. That's the opposite of what they want. And no good on you for not catching the whole solidarity crap, because that's not what it's about. It's not even close to what it's about. So way to accept the premise of solidarity in lieu of the real premise, which is subjugation. That's what they want. If I want to show solidarity, me personally, with a cause or with another person or people, what would you do? You would stand up shoulder to shoulder proudly with them and show solidarity, okay? You wouldn't take a knee in subjugation to them. You wouldn't shine their shoes or lick their boots or admit that you're a bad person when you're not a bad person, or whatever the crap they want you to do in solidarity. That ain't solidarity. That's not equality, and that's not unity. That's subjugation. And if you don't know what subjugation is, look it up. Yeesh. Oh, it's also communism, Marxism, socialism, statism, whatever, okay? Which is pretty much all the same. Fascism, same type of deal. Quote, back to the Yahoo article. I don't think I'm better. Now this is Sam, the Coonrod guy. Was it Sam Coonrod? Jeez, man, whatever. Coonrod, talking to reporters, I guess after the game. I don't think I'm better than anyone, and I believe him 100%. He doesn't think he's better than anyone. If he's a good Christian, everybody's equal. Nobody's better than anybody else. We're all flawed humans. Trust me, bro, we're all flawed humans. I'm just a Christian, he told reporters. Quote, I believe I can't kneel before anything but God, Jesus Christ. I chose not to kneel. If I feel that if I did kneel, I'd be a hypocrite, which you would be, and I don't want to be a hypocrite, which of course you're not now, because you're standing up to your Christian values, or for your Christian values, and there's not a dang thing any reasonable person could have an issue with. He added, now this is interesting, because he's actually an informed Christian. He added that, quote, I just can't get on board with a couple of things I've read about Black Lives Matter. And if you've read the things that we've read and the things that we've posted and published and written and podcasted and everything else about Black Lives Matter, you've read the truth about them. The admitted truth that they admit themselves. How they lean towards Marxism, and they say some negative things about the nuclear family because that's what they're all about. They are for the destruction of Israel. They're for the destruction of America. They're for communism, Marxism, however way you want to describe it. They're in league with George Soros. They're in league with the Muslim Brotherhood, if you can believe that. But yes, they are. This is all a huge cabal to bring down them. And this sounds so hyperbolic, but it's not. And we will be proven right. And unfortunately, if we're proven right, that means we lost. And boy, howdy, if we lose, you got nowhere to go. Like me, you got nowhere to go, except for the gulag. Just saying, okay? And again, this sounds like ridiculous hyperbole until it happens, okay? Until it happens. Then it ain't. Then you look back and say, well, I guess he was right, as you're sitting next to me in the gulag. An informed athlete. Imagine that. Unbelievable. I'm just... But no doubt they didn't chalk it up as being an informed athlete, all these leftist reporters that were probably listening to all this heresy, I guess we'll call it. I'm sure it was just a mixed up leftist, rightist propaganda. That's right-wing propagandist. He continued, I meant no ill will by this. I don't think I'm better than anyone, he said, which again, we covered that. I'm a Christian. I just believe, wow. I can't kneel before anyone besides God, besides Jesus Christ. I chose not to kneel. I felt that if I did kneel, I'd be a hypocrite. Like I said, I didn't mean any ill will toward anyone. And I believe him 100%, and if you don't, then on you, okay? Then, Giants manager Gabe Kapler said on a post-game Zoom call with reporters that he spoke with Coonrod after the game. And the one thing that we said is we were going to let people... Let's see how long this lasts. Listen to this and get a good chuckle out of it, an ironic chuckle out of it. Quote, the one thing we said that is we were going to do is let people express themselves. We were going to give them the choice on whether they were going to stand, kneel, or do something else, and that was a personal decision for Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. Sam the Sham, Coonrod. That will last, it probably hasn't even lasted. Today is Saturday, and I'm doing this on a Saturday for Sunday morning, as anybody that's tuned in before already knows. By today, Gabe Kapler, I haven't looked it up. I'm going to predict that he's already started changing his tune or gone into hiding, trying to soften the blow. Eventually, he'll change his tune. My guess is that eventually Coonrod will be jettisoned from the Giants, and he will not be able to get another job in Major League Baseball, minor league baseball, or Little League Baseball. That's my prediction. So that's what I've got for that thing. The guy has courage up the wazoo. He's got freaking huge stones. I just can't say enough good things about this guy for sticking to his convictions when the whole world is he probably feels like it's against him. Good on you, bro. Stick to your guns. Gabe Kapler, that was a great speech you gave. I'm going to guess that you're going to change your tune. I hope you don't, okay? I really hope you don't. That's what I got. I'll be right back to touch on a little Fauci.
You're watching the Common Constitutionalist video podcast.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Okay, Saint Fauci. This guy's such a douche. President Trump, you should have jettisoned this guy a long time ago. The guy's a complete waste product. And I don't really even need to know anything beyond this about Dr. Fauci or anyone else. If you spend upwards of 4 decades at the federal government level, you are a deep state hack, because you can't survive any other way in that type of environment inside the Beltway for almost 40 years. I think it's been 37 or 38 years he's been involved with the federal government. You can call him anything you like. You can call him a scientist or a doctor. He's nothing of the sort. He's a deep state operative. That's what he is, and that's what he's been for years, and that's what he'll continue to be until you get rid of this sack of crap. He's full of crap, and he's pumping the deep state line whenever he gets a chance. And everybody loves him because he's saying the right things, okay? That's beside the point. So Fauci gets to throw out the first ball during the Nationals-Yankees game Friday, okay? The first pitch, wow. Talk about your 15 minutes of fame. Is he sucking this up or what? He should have said, no thank you, that's not my job. Okay, I'm not in it for the fame or the fortune. It's my job to do, well, I don't even know what his job is anymore, because whatever it is, he ain't doing it properly. But he didn't say that because he's loving life. He is loving the spotlight, he's loving the limelight, and he's loving his 15 minutes of fame, the douche. So he gets to throw out the ball, and I didn't see the video, but I would venture to say, probably about 99.999% correct, that he was wearing a mask all by himself on the freaking pitcher's mound, okay? Because the mask is the face of fear. That's the new normal, the face of fear. That's what this mask is all about. I intend to do sometime in the near future a mask podcast or article based on scientific empirical data, imperial. Okay, maybe it was made by the king, or maybe King Fauci. There you go. At any rate, but today is not that day. So Fauci gets to throw out the pitch and whatnot, and then there's a snapshot that probably a lot of people have seen and not really thought anything about, but I certainly have, and other conservatives certainly have, of Fauci sandwiched. I mean, shoulder to shoulder sandwich, sitting in the seats, the stands, only people in the stands, sandwiched together with one person on one side, one person on the other side, intimate contact, pushing up against each other, and there's Fauci with the mask tucked under his chin, full face, laughing his butt off. What a freaking hypocrite. What a effing hypocrite. Are you kidding me, you piece of crap? Fauci is a deep state piece of crap, just like every other person that works at the deep state, who's been in government, who's been inside the Beltway for almost 40 years. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jesus Christ would be corrupted if he spent that much time inside the Beltway. That's all I'm saying. So, hypocrite Fauci, go the crap away. President Trump, take some advice from us on the right. get rid of this guy. It's never too late to jettison this sack because the COVID thing ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Just saying. So that's all I've got. My name's Brent Smith. Again, I'm the Common Constitutionalist. Like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that kind of stuff. Hateful comments, lovable comments, I don't care. Some of the hateful ones they are hilarious. So I like those ones. It's just sometime maybe I'll read them back. I don't know. We'll see. But at any rate, that's all I got. Brent Smith, Common Constitutionalist. Have a blessed balance of the weekend. See ya.